The 15th Amendment of the United States Constitution is one of the Reconstruction Amendments and was ratified on February 3rd, 1870. It is a significant amendment that prohibits the denial of the right to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Full text of the 15th Amendment. Section 1. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. See, this was them trying to stop slaves from voting, right? Or not slaves, former enslaved people from voting now that they gain freedom, right? Section 2, the Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. More context and interpretation. Right to vote. The 15th Amendment guarantees that the right to vote cannot be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on the basis of an individual's race, color, or previous condition of servitude, such as slavery or involuntary servitude. Enforcement power. The second section of the amendment grants Congress the authority to enforce the provisions of the amendment through appropriate legislation. This empowers Congress to enact laws to protect and ensure voting rights. Historical context. The 15th Amendment was enacted during the period of Reconstruction following the American Civil War. It aimed to address issues of racial discrimination or voter suppression that disproportionately affected African Americans in the South. Prior to the amendment, various tactics, including literacy tests, taxes, and intimidation, were used to disenfranchise African American voters. Legal and social impact. The 15th Amendment represented a significant advancement in civil rights and aimed to rectify the injustices of voter suppression. However, its enforcement was uneven, and many African Americans continued to face barriers to voting, especially in southern states, for decades after its ratification. The amendment's passage marked an important milestone in the struggle for civil rights, and it laid the groundwork for future legislative and legal efforts to secure and protect voting rights for all citizens. Key pieces of legislation, such as the Voting Rights Act of 1965, were later enacted to further protect voting rights and combat discriminatory practices. Modern significance. The 15th Amendment remains a crucial part of American constitutional law and continues to be a central element in debates about voting rights and voter suppression. Efforts to ensure equal access to the ballot box, combat racial discrimination in voting, and protect the voting rights of historically marginalized groups often invoke the principles of the 15th Amendment. In summary, the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits the denial of the rights to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. It represents a pivotal moment in American history, reflecting the nation's commitment to addressing racial discrimination and voting and ensuring equal access to the franchise. This right here, in my opinion, should allow, citizens who have committed previous crimes to vote. I mean, if you look at that last sentence there, it's the 15th Amendment of the United States Constitution prohibits the denial of the right to vote based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. See?